Be careful who you follow because the crowd may not be right. This is episode number 313 of the My Online Toolbox weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of marketing to help you grow your business with more quality leads, amplifying more quality, which is extremely important for this entire episode. Last week we were talking about are your leads slowing down and to be proactive to investigate. We want to thank the handful of customers across the country who reached out to us because it's never too cautious. If you think there's a slowdown, reach out. There's a chance. Check out that episode to see the many reasons why, both technically as well as operationally and industry wise, where it may or may not be impacting you. This week, we're going right into being careful who you follow. We've now are entering the season that everybody's starting to think about their summer marketing and how to get new accounts. And it just keeps coming and coming on a weekly basis to My Online Toolbox. We want to share with you some of these experiences because many of you get impacted. And when you're following the crowd, you don't realize how quickly it is to deviate from your long-term objectives. So what we want to do is share with you that never do we go a week with somebody sharing with us some type of social post, an email, a newsletter, a blog post, and we will remind you over and over again before you ask us what we think. We're already telling you in advance. Done for you is terrible for your long-term objectives. So other than appeasing you that we looked at it for the moment and we glanced at it, let's share with you a quick example of the topics we see repetitively that allow you to realize you're wrong. First, these objectives are always based on quantity. They're never based on quality. Whenever people are pushed on quantity, by default, quality diminishes. And if you don't care, fine, stay with the done for you, but we're going to show you or explain to you some of the results that have happened that are very terrible, but we need to just get to the point. Rarely is it unique content which diminishes your brand. You have to remember that when it says done for you and everybody is looking at a calendar to post something by a specific day, let alone multiple times a week, which is worse, they are going in a rush to bypass anything unique and definitely not related to your business in order to just post to post. And to make matters worse, so much of that is copied. Well, you could say stolen, depending. You should check to see if it is licensed content or not that's being used. And to just jump to the point, because existing customers, we just always tell you the same thing. But we turn down companies when this happens, where all of a sudden someone appears out of the blue and they tell us how great their company is in whatever the heck they do in the home improvement industry. And it turns out that their business was flagged for illegal reasons. And once that process starts, it's the equivalent of you going on the street and someone just saying, hey, you want to buy a brand new Rolex? It's gorgeous and it's only $100. You should know better. And you could play the game that the chances of you getting caught are slim to none, which is true. And if you do get caught, what are the ramifications? Well, on our end, remember the tools that are out there are so ridiculously strong and getting better that even the free tools show us quickly what content is being used and who actually owns the copyright. And when a communication comes in that says you've been flagged, remember the search engines and all of the other associated technologies are judge, jury, and executioner at 2 in the morning. We don't want a new customer coming to us and begging for help, and they're not going to pay for the time. They're all going to be agitated to begin with because they're not getting anything to their business. We don't want it. So we just pass on it and we let them, complain and bitch and whatever the heck they're doing, but we let them move on because they decided to allow that to happen. It is extreme. It does happen infrequently, but when it does happen, everybody associated with the problem, the website programmers, the social people, and whoever else was involved with doing this to get their business going, they're gone. So now you deal with the consequences. We're going to keep it simple that let's make believe you can get away with it. Fine. You can get away with it most of the time, but it still diminishes your brand, and that's totally up to you. You want outsiders slowly diminishing your brand? So be it. Sign up for all that garbage. Otherwise, please stop sharing this stuff with My Online Toolbox to say, what do you think? Because we're already telling you it's terrible, and we're just sugarcoating it to get it onto our normal day of worrying about the 1 to 5 year objectives. Separately, when people are submitting all of these, hey, I got a free analysis from somebody, what do you think? We want to let you know, first of all, we charge for our time, just like going to a second doctor for an opinion. The first doctor, though, in this case, is usually someone selling you something, not charging, and also provide just throwing your website address into some free tool, quickly coming up with a handful of topics to talk about. We got 3 this week, which was surprising. All different types of people are going to these online events, physical events, or just meeting up with a new consultant of the day, and then they say, let's do a free analysis. Well, I don't know why anybody would do a free analysis for anybody, but that's like, deciding whether you do free estimates or you design build and you charge for your time. But putting that aside, we get a report, and it's luckily only a few pages long, and it shows how fast that the keyword usage could be improved. And then we went to the client and quickly said, look, bottom line, over the last 2 years, we've been improving. Our ranking is doing fine. The previous 2 years, when we first started 4 years ago, you were non existent. So I just have to sugarcoat it because literally the report came from someone that we don't know. We did a background search and we were a little bit surprised that a very established consulting company was relying on someone who simply is literally looking at it from a technical perspective, but not a brand perspective. So that brings us into, there are a lot of coaches, there is a lot of consultants, and there's a lot of motivators out there. You need to understand that there are a lot of great people who really know different ways to motivate you and get you excited, but that doesn't mean they can help implement the details. And many times, those people are not paying attention to the details of whatever it is they're referencing. So you need to take a step back and remember, everybody has a business objective. Ours is simple. We care about your brand for 1 to 5 years out. We care about the continuity and consistency for 1 to 5 years out. Many people know the average contractor doesn't want to think beyond 30 to 90 days out, which is why all of these damn lead generation companies still exist. And you have to remember to pay attention and not just follow the crowd because somebody got you pumped up on some technical topic of the day, which may or may not be around, may be irrelevant, or may even just diminish your brand to a point that it sounded good, but it's not going to bring you through 1 to 5 years out. We believe in this so much that on our end, we just tell people forget the weekly quick tips and reminders on Facebook and YouTube and just jump over to the Instagram channel. And you will see on a weekly basis how much we care about consistent quality brand marketing week after week after week. And we do not budge based on the technological topic of the day that the crowd is following. This is my online toolbox reminding you to start planning yesterday for next year's marketing and profits. Have a healthy week, and we will see you next week.